saying something to him, and then slaps him on the butt. Oh, let's go. Let's go. What a play call. Oh, Al Michaels. This is why I like watching these things, because most people aren't going to remember that play. All right, welcome back to another Super Bowl reaction video. Today we're doing Super Bowl 34 between the St. Louis Rams and the Tennessee Titans. Look, one thing we know about these Super Bowls is we know who wins them, right? I know the Rams win this. I know the final play of the game, but how did we get there? What plays were made? That's kind of what gets forgotten in the history of these games. So that's why I wanted to go back and watch these. So Rams 13-3, led by Kurt Warner, an arena guy bagging groceries. Here he is in the Super Bowl. And then you have the Tennessee Titans, who were also 13-3, had been bouncing around a bunch of stadiums and didn't really have a home. They just moved from Houston, were playing in Memphis for a year. Like, there's just a lot of chaos, and yet here they are 13-3 and in the Super Bowl for the first time as a franchise. So, gonna get right into it. Al Michaels on the call here for Super Bowl 34. It is Tennessee Titans and the St. Louis Rams.
He ran a great route, and you could see when you play man-to-man against this team, Kurt Warner is accurate enough to make big plays. Akeem has just got to hold on to the football right here. It's a perfectly thrown ball, and this is
what a throw by Kurt Warner.
Got them here. Mike Martz, the offensive coordinator, said this is what we want to do. Go downfield, take advantage of those matchups. And Akeem has just got to make the play.
Look at that. I mean, right in his hands.
The best cornerback for Tennessee was beaten.
That was a perfect throw by Kurt Warner.
Looked like he wasn't expecting the snap, but fields it flawlessly. And Ricky Prohl, last week's big hero, makes the catch, tackled by Walker. So on 3rd and long, they get 11 and move the chain. 8-yard line. Warner, good protection again, fires to Williams, and the tight end makes the catch. Very close to a first down to the 28.
Wonder how many games have been played on AstroTurf in a Super Bowl before, because this game just has that like super distinctive AstroTurf look.
Loves about Kurt Warner is his decisiveness.
The Georgia Dome.
Back, he makes the decision and he delivers the ball. It's accurate. It's on time.
Bruce to the left side. And instead they give it to the up back, and that's Robert Holcomb, who doesn't carry that much. And that caught Tennessee off guard.
The big fella getting first down.
Holcomb during the season carried only 78 times all year.
Well, so much for my offensive coordination. One of the things that has been a
ooh, what about the Puma jerseys?
The play of the offensive line of the Titans, and I'm sure that Orlando Pace, as you can see him right there, wash down Kenny.
Also, just look how big those shoulder pads are.
Look, we got a pretty good offensive line ourselves. Let's go out and make a name for ourselves.
One thing that's interesting too is like the broadcast changes throughout these. Of like right now, you just have a scorebug in the top right-hand corner, and a lot of it's the format of the TV, right? This is more by like a 4x3 now. TVs are a little like longer, and so you need to fill that space a little bit more. Right here, you just have that scorebug in the top right-hand corner.
Right there, and there is Floyd Reese, who's not only the general manager but a former coach, and thus he watches the game not from a luxury suite but from the coach's booth.
Sure, under the last few years.
3rd down and 9. Warner.
So much pressure from this Tennessee team early. This first drive, he's been hit like 4 times.
No flag, nothing.
Oh, hitman Blaine Bishop.
Earlier in the game, there's going to be pressure. You got to stand in the face of it, and you have to deliver the football. At that time, Blaine Bishop comes right up the middle, and he gets to Kurt before he's ready to throw the football. And you can see how disconcerting that is for a quarterback with a guy like that's in your face.
So on 4th down and 9.
Funny thing, I worked in Nashville at the radio station at 104.5 The Zone, and Blaine Bishop's one of the radio hosts. And it's the funniest thing because he's like the nicest dude ever, but he was a headhunter on the field. But the nicest dude you could possibly meet, and he was just a headhunter. Dude wanted to hit really hard in the NFL. Not a super big guy, but worked with him, and he's a great dude.
Jeff Wilkins, who has tendonitis in his left leg, the plant leg. He'll have surgery next week. But here's a 35-yard field goal attempt, and it's a drop snap, and it's
man.
Moran who gets taken down at the 34-yard line. And
All that work.
the special teams
All that work on the first drive for the Rams, and this is what happens.
As Horan out from the 42-yard line. Pump faking. McNair scrambling. Avoids a sack and then throws incomplete. He escaped what would have been a sack by Kevin Carter and threw it in the direction of Dyson.
You could see the different style of quarterbacking that Steve McNair brings to you. He drops back. He looks to his left. He goes through his progressions. Can't
Just
find anybody.
missed him, but
Kurt
McNair's
would
just
probably get across to the other way and throw the football.
a
Steve
great
McNair
athlete.
Likes to run. Tries to make
Get out of the
something happen
pocket.
Spontaneously.
We've seen a couple of these guys throughout this. Roger Staubach used to do this. Lynn Dawson actually did this a lot in the first couple Super Bowls for the Chiefs. Getting out of the pocket, which has now obviously become like the main thing that quarterbacks do. George could fly. Oh, what a play.
And it's London Fletcher, the linebacker, who took the punch. And then
Eddie George was just gliding.
For a gain of 32.
Wow.
Well, this is why
Just
Eddie George is
gliding
so
through that
valuable. Not only
defense.
does he do it running, but first downs on third down and long.
Third and long, first drive for the Titans. Let's see what they can do here.
McNair buying time, throws and throws it behind the
Complete. So both teams in their first drives, a lot of pressure defensively from both of these teams on their first drives. And we'll get a field goal unit, I think, coming out.
Hopkins, the left tackle of the Titans, he actually took on two guys, Grant Wistrom and also Todd Light, and was able to peel Todd Light off because he was 2 steps away from McNair.
Al Del Greco comes in to attempt what will be a 47-yard field goal. Craig Hintrick to hold it. Spotted at the 37, and Del Greco
no good. Pushes it left.
wide left.
Dang.
Possession for the Rams, and they start at the 37. That's where the ball was spotted for Del Greco's missed field goal attempt. They begin from there, and Warner slings it
Oh,
over
man.
the middle, and wide open is Torrey Holt.
What a play.
All the way to the Tennessee 30-yard line.
I feel like you've seen
When it comes to internet, don't take slow for an answer. And when it comes to
Already-
saving money, don't miss this unreal deal. Get fast, one get.
The rookie out of North Carolina State, 6th guy picked in the draft, 32 yards.
When you watch Kurt Warner drop back out, he just plants his foot and he delivers a strike, and this is really a tremendous throw and play by Kurt Warner.
Watch this
easy,
throw.
open.
It's just
We were
deep
talking about
crossing
the
route.
wide receiver
Is
coach. He
just
told me before the game, watch for this guy,
right
Torrey
in
Holt.
front of
He's
the
quick,
safety.
He's fast, and it's a great matchup for the Rams against the Titans.
Torrey Holt battered and bruised last week, in and out of the game, but played
A lot
a
of,
key
I
role
feel like,
in the
long
championship
crossing
games.
routes
Two
so
big
far
games
for
in the playoffs. On first
for
and
the
10,
Rams.
Warner able to
Pressure
step
coming
up
again.
the
Oh,
middle. He finds the wide open Marshall Faulk.
this is why they're the greatest show on turf. That's 2 chunk plays back to back.
Tackled by Robinson. Opening quarter. Mike March is the guy who was the hottest.
This is the greatest show on turf. They're just able to move the ball so effectively on this drive.
He was so hot that John Shaw, the team president, said, "Let's get you under contract. You will be the successor to Dick Vermeil." There's Al Saunders, the receivers coach.
Who also was a head coach. I think Dick Vermeil. There's Mike White, who was a head coach, and there's Jim Hannafin is on the staff, who was a head coach. He hired all these guys that got fired at one point or another, and now they're all in the Super Bowl together.
Dick Vermeil says, "I love to collect professors." 3rd down and 5 from the 9-yard line. Warner throws and it's
just
incomplete.
a little behind him.
Intended for Hakeem.
That was a curveball.
It was.
That ball
Incomplete.
was like right
Although
out of his
able to
hand,
get all the way
right
down the
behind
field and
Hakeem.
gonna have to settle for
I
3.
think if you're
They got
Tennessee,
down there
just holding your
quick.
breath right now and
They got down there
say,
real quick, but
you can hold them to field goals, it'll be all right. Look at this pass. I would say the wind got that, but there's no wind in here.
The air conditioning.
so let's see
You could see how
if
rough it's gonna be
they
in the
can take the
second
lead.
term.
We've already had a
Jeff Wilkins,
botched
27
field goal
yard
and a
attempt,
missed
ran
field
again.
goal.
This time he gets it down.
There we go.
And the kick is
Now we
good.
have some points on the board after a missed field goal and a botched field goal. Now
Derek
Rams up
Mason
3-0.
back to receive it. Mason 2
Oh,
yards
and take that out.
in the end zone. And Great coverage.
Shouldn't have. Shouldn't have taken that one.
But Adams. First down from the 16 is McNair. Throws.
Got him on that one.
Caught outside by Jackie Harris, the ex-Packer, ex-Buccaneer, tackled by Devin
See
Bush.
that play, that safety coming in and making that extra little effort there to hit him, that might be a foul now.
6 flags, 6 penalties against Fred Miller, the right tackle of the Rams.
From the 31-yard line, Warner throwing, and it's
Ooh,
chipped away
what a play.
at the last moment by Samari Roll.
What a play, got his hands up.
And Roll able to get a hand on it.
And that was gone for six if he if he didn't get his hands up.
The edge playing defense. I played this franchise about 22 times, and they will put their guys on an island like this.
Look at that, what a play.
Plays, and Samari Roll makes a great play right
I mean, if he just doesn't time that right, that's 7.
Isaac Bruce is gone. And this is the type of defense that Jeff Fisher plays, and it puts those guys in a very tough situation in the secondary against the speedy receivers of the Rams.
Quick snap, 2nd and 10, and a freeze Falk down the sideline. Walker has an angle on him, and the last guy to get him knocks him out of bounds. They ran it off.
Where's the coverage on Marshall Faulk? Like, what are we doing? I mean, he was just immediately out in the backfield and is just wheel route gone. I mean, look at that. Nobody's even near him, and he's the most dangerous weapon on the field. Miscommunication. Wow. I mean, that is it. Luckily, Walker is there to push him out because that should have been 6. And then, of course, they fumble it right after. Oh, man. Oh, little flip pass. That's on the ground. It's a shovel pass. Incomplete. Yep.
One official, the umpire, is signaling a recovery. Jeff Fisher is saying...
No, incomplete. I mean, Jeff Fisher even knows.
That's incomplete. Bob McElwee made the right call. Yes.
This is what people mean though when they say, like, this Rams team was doing things that people weren't doing before. I mean, they weren't doing a ton of shuffle passes back in the early 2000s and late 90s. Now we see a lot more of that, and we see a lot more reverses, but this team was kind of revolutionary in that sense.
Falk empties the backfield. Warner has it knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
That's twice.
Down here by Josh Evans.
That's twice. It's been knocked down.
But got the hand up and knocked it away, forcing a field goal attempt.
That's okay if you're Tennessee. You give up the big plays.
This Tennessee defense has done a good job so far. They're giving up a lot of plays, but they're not breaking. I mean, they've had 2 field goal opportunities. They obviously have the 3 points, but other than that, like, this team has done actually a really good job defensively. That's a second batted ball down. So, hey, if you're Tennessee at this point, like, you're in the game, so.
Why?
And he misses again. That's 2 missed field goals.
10 from the 35-yard line. Rams blitz, but the Titans pick it up. McNair.
Oh, he was looking downfield.
Good work by the secondary.
Oh.
But here's where Steve is very dangerous.
There's McNair.
Takes it out to the 48-yard line.
He was looking for a bomb there. The way he set up his throw.
Excuse me, Al, not only is he dangerous, he's tough, and you could see right there, he doesn't slide. He looks like a running back. Take a look at this. They're bringing
he was trying to.
Nobody's panicking. The offensive
what a great play call though on a blitz and you're rolling out. I mean, he's about to try to bomb that.
Another tackle there, and then takes the linebackers and defensive linemen on. It's a tough guy. Jeff Fisher said he's one of the toughest, if not the
91 rushing yards in the AFC Championship game.
From the 48-yard line on 1st down.
Got him.
Under pressure, and it's Kevin Carter who led the league this season. 17 sacks. He'll go to the Pro Bowl. He was their #1 choice in 1995 when they moved to St. Louis, and that's why he's a Pro Bowler.
Well, I know what that feels like. He caught me for a safety a few years ago. And he deserves to be in the Pro Bowl as a player who had a tremendous year last year, but because this team was not very good,
fast he got off this block.
But you could see that nice move.
I don't even think the right tackle didn't even.
69 actually kind of takes himself out of position.
Yeah, he didn't even have.
Offensive lineman can't do that. You got to stay at home.
He didn't even have like a grip on him.
6-yard sack. He coordinator. He went to San Diego. Then the Rams began to look at Jim Mora. Never really got anywhere there, and then finally decided on Vermeil. The 5th time around was the charge. 3rd down and 16. Here is McNair.
Oh,
too high.
had him just a little bit too high.
Boy, he had him too. You know, this is the things that.
That's what I just said, Boomer Esiason.
Great at not getting back in that pocket and throwing an accurate strike down the sideline. When he's moving around, he really becomes something special.
All right. So here we are, 3-0, 9.5 minutes left.
Short of the 40-yard line. Kurt Warner played as the backup last year, and now, well, what can we tell you?
What were they thinking in Green Bay when they cut this guy?
Here's Warner throwing, caught by Bruce. He's across the 50 to the 45-yard line.
Again, the Rams have been able to move the ball effectively. They just haven't been able to convert anything when they're getting to that.
100 yards per quarter this year. Already have racked up 192 yards in a quarter and a half, but still only 3 points.
Look, he sets his foot and he throws it. It's right
almost 200 yards through a quarter and a half. 3 points, 2 missed field goals.
Take a look at Orlando Pace. This is a big left tackle. Watch what he does to home. See ya, and then goes after him. You got to love that if you're an offensive lineman.
6.5 to go in the half. 3-0 St. Louis. On 1st down, Warner.
Got him again.
Caught by Holt. Got position that time on Walker, and that's another 1st down.
You're watching a clinic right now by Kurt Warner. He's clamping, he's throwing. There's Trent Green, who was
hold on.
last year as a time.
I'm gonna run this back. Watch Torrey Holt here.
St. Louis. On 1st down, Warner.
Watch what he does to the umpire. What is he doing? Saying something to him, and then slaps him on the butt. I feel like I haven't seen that in today's NFL. I feel like I've never seen guys smack a referee. Interesting.
A little pump and go, and
so far, though,
are looking in the backfield, and take a look at this.
So far, this Titans defense is keeping them in this game. Now, there obviously is a clear hold, but they're bending and not breaking. Right now, the Titans offense just hasn't been able to really get going yet. Defense is doing their job.
And then caught one, the big one.
29 passes already for Kurt Warner. Here's 30. Slant route, caught like 12 yards. I mean, they're just living off of this right now. This is what the Rams did. The Showtime Rams just lived off of slant routes. 270 yards.
2-minute offense. The score at the end of the game, it was against this Tennessee Titan team, and they moved it very effectively.
From the 38-yard line, Warner slings it to the outside. That's pulled in by Hakeem.
Another one. Oh, my goodness. I mean, they're approaching 300 yards of offense in the first half.
Now, Al.
18 for 31.
8 receivers now.
It's 6-0 still. They've been able to move the ball so well.
I mean, there's nobody around him, and look at this spiral. It's a beautifully thrown ball. Hakeem makes a nice catch. There had already been a few drops.
This is something that I've wondered, because Kurt Warner is a Hall of Famer. You know, he got to a couple of Super Bowls, but he is that one got him. But Kurt Warner looks a lot like kind of like a Brett Favre-ish. I mean, he has a little bit of that quick release, fast-paced Aaron Rodgers type, and I think that Kurt Warner is actually kind of underrated in terms of his rank in terms of all time, because he, like they said in the broadcast, he was a backup at the beginning of the year. backup at the beginning of the year. And right now, almost 300 yards of offense in the first half of a Super Bowl is pretty wild. One-on-one, Hazigan. Man, if he would have thrown probably more pylon, that was touchdown. If he would have gone more pylon instead of down, I think that would have been a touchdown there. So trying to get another field goal opportunity here. So 5 trips to the red zone, 9 points. That's not good, and that's why this is a close game towards the end. And so we're at the end of the first half, and it's Rams 9, Titans 0. All right, so second half is starting. Here we go. Titans, just the 10th team in Super Bowl history not to score in the first half. All other 9 others lost that game. So here we are, second half, 9-0. So obviously this Titans defense did their job in the first half, and now it's their offense that has to do something here. They'll get the ball, but look at this stat line. Rams 18 first downs to their 6. 294 total yards to 89. And only 5-minute difference time of possession. I mean, when you are out totaling a team 210 yards essentially, and you're only up 9, not a good position to be in. All right, so this is the most momentum that the Titans have had all game.
Football right now, just handing it to Eddie George, play action off of Eddie George. You can see how everything kind of goes around him. This time it's a little draw play.
This is the best they've had. They've had a couple of plays on this drive of 8, 9, 10 plus yards, moving the ball down the field. I mean, at this point, if you are a Titans fan, if you get in the end zone, you feel good about it.
He delivers a blow. He never takes a blow without delivering one first.
George dropped it. Eddie dropped it.
He dropped it. I don't know if he was going to get anywhere. I don't think he was going to get anywhere. There was a defender right there. I don't think that George, I mean, look at this. I don't think that he was going to get anywhere with this because, I mean, that defender is right there ready for him. So I don't think that they would have done anything. Let's see if they can get points on the board.
Greco, who is a scratch golfer, by the way, hooked one into the rough from 47 the first time out. Here's another 47-yarder. Hentrick to hold it. And it is blocked. Todd Light blocked it. DeMarco Farr recovers it.
Oh, man. First drive that you actually are getting anything. First time you are moving the ball down the field, you're like, all right, here's another opportunity to at least make this a one-score game. Bang. Block. This should be 9-6. Oh, man.
He's a guy talking to him. He's quiet. He doesn't say much. Interestingly, when he came out of Indiana,
all right, so now here we are. Rams moving the ball a little bit down the field. Way downfield. Oh, got him. Right in the middle of that zone. And right back where they left off in the first half. Oh, man.
The great thing about this particular play for Isaac Bruce, he gets down into the seam, and instead of running through the seam, he sits down in the zone.
Here's another red zone opportunity for the Rams.
Rams leading 9-0, and Warner has
Another one batted down. That's the 4th time this game that there's been a ball batted down.
Really have to step it up right now.
All right, 3rd and goal. See what they can do.
3 receivers to the right. Warner goes over the middle. Juggled, caught. Holt, touchdown.
There it is. Finally. I mean, another slant route. That's what they've done multiple times this game. Just a slant route. Kurt Warner's quick with it. Gets the ball out of his hands, and finally, like the 6th time and they're in the red zone, they finally get the points on the board. All right. Team's moving the ball a little bit now. Now, it's funny because the Rams are moving it in like 8-yard chunks. The Titans have been moving it in 3-yard chunks. Both of them, hey, do well. 3 or 4 yards versus 8 or 9. But right now, they're just... Ooh. Got a little...
For a first down, and then you've got a little fight breaking out because one of the Rams winds up with the football. That's Mike Jones, number 52. And he gets
well, the
into a little
Rams player was like pulling off.
What I like there is you don't want to be messing with the guy's quarterback.
Yeah, they were kind of messing with Steve McNair. They were pulling him backwards. That was kind of strange.
When they know it's 3rd and short, they'll call Geronimo. They'll run a play like this. No huddle. Try to get the defense.
Gained like 3 yards.
Kind of confused, and certainly the Rams weren't ready for it. You can see Mike Jones, the guy's down, and he's pulling the ball out. And
yeah, a little extra.
Take care of his quarterback.
There's a Mike Jones on each team. 2 Mike Joneses in the game. From the 29-yard line, Eddie George.
This is what I'm talking about, like 4 yards on every play this drive. Now we're 2 minutes left in the 3rd.
Finally establishing that ground game here. Still a ton of time, 17 minutes left in regulation. McNair with a casual little roll, and now he's going to run.
There it is. There he goes. All right. Hey, this is very similar to the last drive that they had that they were able to gain yards. Design rollout, doesn't like what he sees. Takes it.
Jacksonville Jaguars know all about that after last week.
You could see that Steve McNair certainly can get down there with his legs. Right here, he fakes it to Eddie George. Everything starts there. He looks back. He's looking back to throw it against the grain, and then realizes he has a seam, and he takes it all the way down to the 2-yard line.
From the 2 on 1st and goal,
Eddie George almost there.
Tumbles to the 1-yard line, tripped up by London Fletcher. 2nd down and goal as we are in the final minute of the 3rd period.
Well, like I said, it all comes off of Eddie George, Al. When he starts running the ball the way he has in this series.
You know what's interesting is I don't know if they do it now, but would you consider going for 2 if you score? Because right now it's still a 2-possession game, but it's 2 scores, 2 8-point touchdowns.
McNair is going to take a timeout.
That is their first charged timeout.
So this could be a situation where are you going to go for it and give Eddie George in? All right, touchdown Titans, finally get on the board. But now, do you even consider going for 2? Oh, and there's a penalty. All right, McNair. Okay, so you just scored. You're down 16. If you go for 2, because you're still down 2 scores. Yep, and here you go. Here's the 2-point conversion.
Of the AFL, then the NFL brought it back in 1994.
This is their little counter play where Benji Olsen, the right guard, number 75, pulls to his left, and Eddie George follows him around the corner. Where was that play in the first half?
Down
Yeah.
by 10 at this point in the
This
game.
is
They're going to go for 2 as
this
they
is you're right, the right call.
Bird in motion from the 2-yard line, the 2-point conversion. McNair throws and it's off the hand of Frank Wycheck.
I think he was open. It was just a little out in front of him.
So they don't convert.
I think he almost had it. All right, leads 10, 16-6 now. Still 2-score game. That didn't work. They're trying to just work Eddie George right now. Under 14 to play. Showing blitz. George gets back. Oh, what a play. Hey, Jones saved 35 yards on that play. I don't know if that corner was going to be able to get off his block.
Was a Super Bowl record, eclipsing the old mark by a quarterback. A 22-yard run by Phil Simms.
Phil Simms.
Yes. Second down and 4.
You could just sense the offensive line of the Titans want it. Just keep giving it to Eddie.
They give it to Eddie. And Eddie gets taken
Kind of
down
stumbled on that one.
He's shy of the first by 1 by Billy Jenkins. Jenkins coming up for the tackle.
Hey, all I have to say is obviously I know how this ends. We have a lot to happen in the next 12 minutes of this game.
The line of scrimmage. The play before the last. The line.
Oh, he didn't get it. Oh, wait.
And good luck with this measurement.
Yeah, I mean, the referee on the top of this screen came in and looked like he was going to give it to him.
A lot of times we'll see teams get in a situation.
I think they're going to give it to him.
Snap count and never go. And that's exactly what they did, but I'm sure
and they'll measure.
Signal that Steve McNair, all he had to do is kind of goose the center, he'd snap the ball, and they would go forward, and that's exactly what they did.
Here we go.
I think, I mean, I don't know. But they're
get more than 2 inches, Al.
He did.
Yeah, there it is.
Nice mark, too.
Got him. That's like the longest play that they've played all game.
That's Isaac Bird's first catch. But Adams looking on, watching a guy who's replacing the injured Yancey Thigpen and to step up to
McNair, I mean, they're moving the pocket a little bit. He has so much space in the pocket that he can just move around and try to find his receiver there. A little double move, come back right in the zone.
You give the quarterback time and a throwing lane like this. NFL quarterbacks are in the Super Bowl. Complete that 10 out of 10 times.
10 after the timeout from the 24-yard line. 8:33 left in the fourth. McNair, he's going to throw a backside screen that almost gets picked off. Instead, Harris lines up with it.
Let's go.
Rumbles inside the
Oh, let's go.
thrust out of
Let's
bounds
go.
at the 3.
What a play call.
They almost have a game-ending interception.
What a play call.
Back for a touchdown. Instead, a 21-yard advancement by the Titans, and it's first and goal.
What a play call. I mean, going back, I mean, look, he sees it, and the 90 tries to jump back, and he just doesn't have a – what a dime by Steve McNair there. I mean, literally just 3 inches over the fingertips. Wow. All right, first and goal. Here you go. I mean, that's a strong man run. I mean, he was almost vertical on the ground, was able to just push forward. He's fired up. Let's go.
I think his knee was down, Al. Take a look at this.
Gets in. Take a look.
Oh,
Contact made.
let's see.
He is down. He is down.
We're going to snap the ball and take a look right there.
Oh, he's down. Oh, man. See, this is why I like watching these things.
Rams almost offside. Get back. Now the extra point is good.
This is why I like watching these things, because most people aren't going to remember that play.
Del Greco boots it through with 7:21.
And now they're talking about it.
I think this is about the flag, though, because there's a flag down for offside.
Clearly offside. Dre Bly, number 32, is clearly offside.
And has nothing to do with any
Yeah, because you shouldn't be able to
George's knee being down
challenge anything. But this is what I like about these types of watching this.
Number 32 defense. That penalty will be assessed on the.
This is why I like watching these, because that play doesn't get remembered. That play doesn't get remembered, but he was, I mean, essentially a yard short on that as well. And so the foreshadowing, it's like, oh, wow, that happened twice in the game? Wow.
On the kickoff, the point
All right, hey, 3-point game.
We're back. The Titans lining up as if they're going to onside kick it after the penalty. They'll kick it off from the 35-yard line, but Hentrick again sends this one downfield, fielded at the 23, lateral to Horn, who has to cover it up at the 22. London Fletcher caught it, said, I don't want this thing, and Horn didn't want it for a minute either. In the meantime, let's go back to the touchdown. Here is a play that could have been reviewed.
Let's look at this.
The Rams
So,
wanted to challenge
again,
they could have. This is a reviewable play.
I mean, his shin hit. That's a yard short.
But they didn't. Here's the George family reaction. But this is the type of play. There's a little bit of a flaw in the replay system. Once the extra point is kicked, it's too late.
Man.
Once the next play develops, it's
The
too
foreshadowing
late.
here.
To a replay where they can send down word, it's also too late.
The foreshadowing here.
Has to be a coach's job.
Wow.
It would have been. So it had.
This has been interesting because Tennessee's defense kept them in the game in the first half. Now in the second half, this is when Eddie George really started to get going a little bit offensively, and they've been able to get some yards. And offensively for the Rams, they've been able to get yards, just haven't been able to convert anything yet. And that's the fifth batted ball. Fifth batted ball down. Wow. All right, here we go. 3rd and 8.
Waving to the fans, trying to get them involved in the game.
3rd down and 8 from the 23-yard line. Under pressure, Warner dumps it. That's incomplete. Josh Evans put the pressure on. Mike Martz upset.
6.5 to play.
Guys are running wide
Man.
open, and all of a sudden, tightness is starting to
Let's
set
go.
in on the offense of the Rams. They had pretty much had their way the whole game. And then as soon as Eddie George started to take this game over with, whew, momentum has switched.
Just yet.
There. Oh, he dropped it. Oh, whew.
And yet it's recovered at the 28-yard
Rams are saying it's incomplete.
It was caught and fumbled by Jackie Harris. And then Isaac Bird is
Luckily,
the man of the hour
Titans
in
jumped on
Nashville.
it.
Everything starts with the play action in the backfield. Watch Harris just find the opening in the zone. Steve McNair
Hey, that's a
knows where he's
big,
supposed to be,
that's a big
but
dude
Isaac Bird
as your
has
tight
to
ends.
fly to the football. Billy Jenkins, number 22, forced the fumble.
1st and 10 at the 28-yard line. George pounds to the 25-yard line, tackled there by Mike Jones.
I mean, yeah, look, at this point, you're just trying to run the clock, and I think you're now in field goal range, so you at least can know that you can tie it. And so this is probably what you're thinking here. Let's just keep running the ball, milking the clock a little bit. We have momentum right now offensively. We've been able to get 3-4 yards a pop.
2nd down and 7. George in motion. Vacant backfield here. McNair, good protection, slings it to the outside. Bird makes the catch, but McLean is right there on top of it.
Ooh, McLean got away with a hold. He actually grabbed the, and you can see Bird's jersey. Right before that, McLean grabbed Bird's jersey and got away with a hold. But interesting situation right now for the Titans, whether or not you want to go ahead and try to force this issue. Watch McLean right here. Ooh, right there, 2 holds.
If they don't gain another yard, it's about a 43-yard field goal attempt.
Here we go, 3rd and 7.
2:20 left in regulation. 3rd down and 7. To the outside and
Airmailed it.
incomplete. Good coverage on the play. Trying to get it out to Frank Wycheck, covered by Jones.
There wants that one
and
back.
now Al Del Greco, who's been kicking for a long time.
But the kicking games for both teams haven't been good today. I say today. This is like, what, January 2000.
Remember last week against the Indianapolis Colts, you would think that he was the
0 for 2.
of the game because he was the one that saw Terrence Wilkins, the punt returner, step out of bounds and told Jeff Fisher to replay that play, and certainly it was correct.
43-yard attempt. Hentrick will put it down at the 33-yard line. right down Broadway.
There it is. All right. So now this is where the fun begins. 2 minutes left. Titans have come back and tied it.
Greco, an Oiler since 91. Warner to throw. Going deep downfield, adjusting for it is Isaac Bruce.
That's the play.
And Isaac Bruce threads
Isaac
his
Bruce.
way for a touchdown.
Iconic.
73 yards.
One play. After all this momentum that the Titans have had. The second half, it's been all Titans essentially. One play. 9 seconds off the clock. What a shot right there.
One timeout, 148. There's a look at Georgia. Frontier, new name Frontier. Taking the name of her 7th husband after inheriting the team from her 6th husband.
Al Michaels. He just... Oh, Al Michaels. Taking the name of her 7th husband after she got the team from her 6th husband. Oh. Al Michaels. The GOAT, man. All right, hey, we're at a minute 47 left. They've already had 2 timeouts this half because... which is going to be an issue here towards the end of the game. All right, here we go. Al Michaels, golly.
Here's McNair. Throwing upfield, caught Derek Mason. McNair to the outside, trying to get out of bounds and doing so up at the 20.
Easy pitch and catch.
That's a first down.
I believe Wycheck just actually passed away recently. Of course, McNair's passed. Wycheck has passed.
This is the play that they ran earlier. Mike Jones trying to cover him.
And I know a lot of these Titans players from this team are still in Nashville covering the team. Derek Mason, Brad Hopkins still covering the team with the Tennessee Titans now.
5-man rush. Incomplete. Diving for it was Dyson up at the 41.
Kevin Dyson's also in Nashville covering the team. Blaine Bishop. So you got a lot of these Titans eras teams still covering and being in Nashville.
It's a first down, and they're moving the chains. All of a sudden now it seems like the crowd has really kind of gotten quiet here, wondering what's going on.
Been a pretty breathless fourth quarter. Second down and 10. They have to come up for air. From the 27-yard line, McNair surveying. There he goes. Rolling.
Did he make one man miss? He does. Still on his feet. There it is. And face mask. And the 15. It's those types of plays that you get a 15-yard run and then you add another 15-yard for the face mask. That right there is what puts you in a situation where Tennessee could possibly win the game. Or at least tie it.
Four guys, the secondary has a tendency to kind of get lax a little bit. And a guy like Steve McNair will take off and make plays.
Yeah, it's a clear face mask.
You have to be careful. You still have to stick to your principles and watch him and know that that's the most dangerous part of his game.
McNair has just broken the Super Bowl record for rushing yardage by a quarterback. That's 62 yards on the ground on the same night that Warner breaks the passing mark. First and 10 at the 45-yard line. 65 seconds left in regulation. Out of the shotgun. Titans with one timeout.
I almost got, you got the guy to jump off sides. I don't know if Steve McNair knew, because he probably would have taken a shot down the field if he knew.
Refuse the penalty, it'll be on the defense, or they would have stopped the play. They'll stop the clock and gain 7 yards.
Charlie Clemens.
Yep.
May have been offside.
I don't think that McNair knew.
5-yard penalty. First down.
See, this is the interesting thing now, Al. You gain 7 yards with the completion, but you keep the down if you accept the penalty and you lose 2 yards. And right now, the down probably is more important than the yardages because you need a touchdown and you need the downs to get it.
Interesting.
at this point. The option being 2nd and 3 or 1st and 5, you have to.
You got to take 1st and 5.
Go this way, which they do with 1 timeout. 20
Interesting there.
Already on this drive against the Rams. The ball at the 40. 59 ticks left from the shotgun.
He's got plenty of time, but
Turns it upfield again.
it is gains like 2 yards.
Out of bounds at the 38.
Does get out of bounds.
That took 10 seconds off the clock.
Playing against a guy like Steve McNair used to just drive defenses crazy, and they're so dangerous because you never know what they're going to do in these types of situations, whether it be running with the ball or because of his arm that is so strong. And there is Mike Parks, the offensive coordinator of the Rams, has nothing to do. He has the
64 yards rushing.
in there, and he's not afraid to do that if he gets the opportunity.
Patrick Mahomes had one of these games 2 Super Bowls ago.
And the Rams have chosen the prevent.
Against the 49ers, the second time around.
Rushing 4 over the middle. The open man. They find Kevin Dyson. He's to the 32.
Now the clock's rolling now. You only have 1 timeout.
McNair wants to get him up to the line of scrimmage.
Probably gonna spike
Clock it.
Spike it right here. Stopping the clock. 31 seconds.
I would have taken a timeout there, Al. I would have saved the 10 seconds. They have 1 timeout left. Yes, I would have taken a timeout. Had 42 seconds to go.
Boy, I keep it in my back pocket just for insurance.
Yeah,
here.
but the thing about it is that the time is.
All right, so 31 seconds left. We know what happens at the end of it, but this has been an incredible game.
Timeout and save the time.
Well, by saving the timeout, at least he can work the middle of the field with some confidence right now because they will be able to stop the clock. 2nd down and 10.
I think Al Michaels is right in this situation. Keep the timeout. There it is. Oh.
Intercepted in what has been a turnover-free
Woo.
game.
I think you're going to have offsides again. Yes,
Yep,
you are.
another offside. So
Offsides again.
another 5 yards, and maybe if McNair knew that one, maybe he tried to. He would throw it down the middle of the field, just try to get a chunk play there.
I think he meant defensive end. To me, it looked like Kevin Carter was lined up offside.
Carter gasping for air. Comes
right
off
here, Al, is offsides. Kevin Carter, right there. He's lined up offside. He meant left defensive end.
2nd and 5. The ball at the 27-yard line.
Here they come. Get rid of it.
McNair throwing and not looking. He hits Eddie George in the back.
Eddie George is confused.
He had to throw the ball because he had a blitz, and Eddie George, you could see that Jeff Fisher's telling Eddie right now, you have the blitz, you got to turn around and look for it.
Yeah.
It looked like Eddie George was trying to block him.
Yeah, that's I don't know what
see Clemens come free.
if there was supposed to be a route, because I mean he looks like he is going down to block.
Hit him in the back of the arm. It is 3rd down and 5.
Oh, he kind of glanced back.
From the 27.
That was weird.
3 receivers set to the right. McNair stepping
Whoop.
up.
Nope, other way. Not there. Nope, keep going. And oh my gosh. Got it.
11-yard line is caught. First down. They saved their timeout. They have it here. They stop the clock.
Yeah.
Kevin Dyson made the catch.
What a play by McNair. I mean, that's just, I got to have it.
That timeout was exactly for a situation like this.
Way to go, Al.
They know what they were doing. So 5 seconds left
Whew.
in regulation. Probably one.
See, there are a couple of Super Bowls, the Eagles and Patriots Super Bowl,
Sound like they're going to put some more time on the clock.
that are really good. Just really good games. And this is what you want. This year's Eagles-Chiefs game is not what you want.
Another second back on the clock. So right now it shows 6
Look at
here
this.
in the stadium.
Oh, what a play by Steve
Unbelievable.
McNair.
That play
Now, I don't know how much more you could say
might
about
be the
Steve
best
McNair's
play in
performance
Titans
in the
history.
second half, Eddie George's performance in the second half, Kurt Warner stepping up and making the big throw.
I know they didn't win the game, but that play right there might be the biggest play in franchise history.
Where do they go with the football? It's got to be in the end zone.
One play.
The other thing here, too, is don't forget Steve McNair has the ability to run it, and he might just decide to do it.
If he has to.
They look a little confused right here. Not a good thing.
After the timeout. From the 10. Probably the final play of the game. In regulation. It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in? No, he
Nope.
cannot.
There it is. And that's the ball game.
Made the tackle. And the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
Goal line. The game is over.
Mm.
Game is over.
Now every Super Bowl should have an ending such as this. Down on the 1-yard line, a terrific play call, trying to give Dyson an opportunity to break a tackle.
All right, so Rams win 23-16. A great game. Kurt Warner threw for 414 yards. The Titans defense kept them in this game. What's interesting is that Eddie George was down before he got it. Now, I do think that they would have won the game. I still think that they would have gotten the touchdown on there, but it is just kind of interesting foreshadowing that knee was down right before he gets to the goal line twice. And, you know, if they get the one to tie the game at the end of it, then, you know, instead of the other, they would have probably scored on the next play, 3rd and goal from the half-yard marker. So, what a game. This is what Super Bowl games should be like. This is what Super Bowl games should look like. Just incredibly fun, momentum shifting back and forth. The Rams were the greatest show on turf. They were extremely fun to watch. And Kurt Warner, I think, is underrated in terms of where he stands up all time. So, all right. That'll do it for this Super Bowl watch. Be sure to go back onto the channel, watch the other Super Bowls that I've done already. We're going to be cranking out some more of these, so be sure to go subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can watch the other ones on there as well. We'll see you next time. Peace.